Welcome to Sports Jam!
Everybody get up, it's time for sports now. We got a real show going down. Welcome to the Sports Jam. It's your chance, talking rant. It's the Sports Jam. All right. Hey man, you can't get any better than that.
All right, hey folks, welcome to the Sports Jam here on AM 1230 WJOB. I am Mike Zajac. I'm Joe O'Rourke.
I'm Sam Sapito.
In the house. We got some breaking news for you to start the show. An SUV has crashed into a home in Griffith on Klein Avenue near Lake Street, and that is all we know at the time. Turned upside down. I'm seeing a picture right here into the home of the living room. So that is all we know. I think Harlow will probably have more on the story at 4 o'clock on the afternoon fix. We got a fun show for you today.
Cannot wait for this interview.
We got Commissioner of Griffle Ball. You ever hear of Griffle Ball?
I have not.
Anybody? No?
Sam?
No, I have not.
Well, it's like wiffle ball. And we have the commissioner, Jeremy Ratajczyk, will be on at the bottom of the hour. So we'll talk to him about that. Matt Garza in the news, NHL and the Olympics, some Railcats, and local other news as well.
Let's talk about the NHL schedules released today. The Hawks will open up their season at home against the Capitals on October 1st. Pretty excited for that. That's a marquee matchup, Blackhawks and Capitals. Get to see Ovechkin and all the Hawks try to return to glory and repeat their season from last year. So the way the schedule shakes out right now, every team will play each other at least twice. It'll be one home game and one away game for all these teams. The rematch with the Hawks in Boston, the Stanley Cup rematch, will take place January 19th at the UC, and then again March 27th in Boston. The Hawks will only see Detroit twice this year. Doesn't that suck that they're only going to see them twice now?
Yeah, that's their
Such a
big
great
rivalry.
Yep. I always look forward to those games. You know, every time they release schedule, you would look at when they play Detroit. Hopefully, the last couple of games of the season. You know,
Right.
Now they only play them twice. They'll play them January 22nd in D-Town, and then March 17th, the day before St. Patrick's Day, at home. Hopefully, they'll wear those green jerseys. You ever seen people walking around in those green Hawks jerseys?
Yeah, I know you got one of
I do. I have one. I think
Jonathan Tapes.
I think it's Kane. Is my
Okay.
I don't remember actually. I know I have a Taze.
How do you not know?
Because I have a Kane, I have a Taze, I have a who else do I have? I have a
Yeah,
Griswold.
the Griswold. That's my favorite one.
I have a Hossa sweatshirt now. I mean, I got like one of all the big players, so I can't remember which one's which. Anyway, so the new divisions, the new alignments were announced. The names of the divisions, at least, and where the teams would fall within these new divisions. And the names of those divisions are the Atlantic Division, the Metropolitan Division, the Central Division, and the Pacific Division. And those are divided into two conferences, East and West Conference. What do you think about those names? All right, Atlantic, that's okay.
Right, the Central.
Central is there with every sport, I think.
Right.
Pacific, okay, that's fine, whatever. But Metropolitan,
That's just New York
that just sounds
area.
stupid.
That's all that is.
The teams that are in the Metropolitan are, as you said, the New York area teams. You got the New York Rangers, the Islanders, the New Jersey Devils, along with the Washington Capitals, Pittsburgh Penguins, Philly Flyers, Carolina Hurricane, and the Columbus Blue Jackets, all in the Metro Division. Is that what they're going to call it?
Probably. With that New York accent, they're going to say that with.
Yeah, the Red Wings, I believe, are in the Atlantic Division, and they are now they've moved to the Eastern Conference. And the Hawks are in the Western Conference in the Central, which include the Blues, Predators, Wild, Avalanche, Stars, and Jets, who are moving from the East to the West.
Right.
The Jets used to be in the West, or in the East, I mean. So that's what's going to happen. I do like that they'll play each team at least twice. I think that's good.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like in baseball where you only see a team maybe every 3 years.
Right.
Or that's how it used to be, at least. So that's kind of cool that you'll see each team at least once, but it still sucks that they're only going to see Detroit twice a year.
Now, what about the playoffs? They're going to go 3-3 in each division.
Exactly. The top 3 teams in each division will make up the first 12 of the playoffs, and the remaining 4 spots will be filled by the next 2 highest-placed finishers in each conference. So basically 2 wildcard teams,
Right.
just like it works in baseball, where you'll take the 2 best records after those first 3 in each division.
So let's say the St. Louis Blues, they go 500 on the year. In the other division, you've got somebody else with a better record, and they're going to be a wild card team? Is that how it's going to go?
Yeah, it's possible that up to 5 teams can come from one division because you got those top 3 in each, and then the other teams, it's just a free-for-all for those top 2 no matter what division that they're in.
Do you like that system? I don't think I like the top 3 in each division. Because what if there is 5 teams, 6 teams maybe in one division who have a winning record, and then there's that other team, that third team in that division with a mediocre record. They're going to get in.
It's like that in every sport, though. I mean,
right.
You look at baseball, the AL East gets screwed every year because they have usually 4 teams that are real good, 3 that are usually the top, and then only 2 of them can make it.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it's like that in every sport. You can't really avoid that. You can't have completely balanced divisions every single year where the top teams will always make it and nobody gets left out. But I don't know, until they make it where everybody is all in one, just one conference with one division, and then the top 8. They do that in they used to do that in hockey, I guess. Right?
Yeah.
Except it was the top 1 from each division, and then the other 4 were kind of wild cards.
Right.
But yeah, I mean that's going to happen in every sport. So nothing really there that is new or changing.
NHL also announced the stars in the NHL will play in the Olympics next year in Sochi, Russia. The league will take a break from February 9th to the 26th. More than 120 NHL players are expected to represent their countries. And Gary Bettman said that the decision to participate in the 22nd Olympic Winter Games in Sochi was in many ways a difficult one, but one that we know we will be received by our players and most importantly by the fans and sports fans everywhere. So I think that was a great call by Gary Bettman and Donald Fehr.
Was this not a big deal last Olympics because it was in Vancouver and no one was really traveling very far? Is that why?
I didn't hear much about that.
I don't remember 4 years ago it being a big debate whether they were going to go play in the Olympics or not.
Yeah, I don't think it was because
I just don't remember.
It was in Vancouver. It was close by this other side of the world in Russia. Maybe that's why it took so long to figure this out.
Yeah, let us know 845-1100 if maybe you can jog our memories if 4 years ago this was a big issue with them going to Vancouver. I would think not because Vancouver's already a team that was in the league, so all the teams would travel there and it would be normal, business as usual. But going to Sochi, maybe. I don't know, maybe that factored in something.
Yeah.
Maybe it being Russia, I have no idea.
Gary Bettman finally got something right.
Yeah. In 2010, the last time when it was in Vancouver, Canada beat the U.S. 3-2 in overtime. Sid the Kid scored the game-winning goal. That was a very entertaining Olympic ice hockey. I think it was the highest-rated sport in the Olympics last time.
So high-rated, I actually watched it. I remember watching it.
And a lot of people like you were watching it. People who aren't hockey fans didn't really care, but then that whole patriotism thing just wraps them up, and then they want to watch and they want to support their country. There were a lot of people this year who followed the Blackhawks because they're the hometown team, and I don't know what you're talking about. But anyway, a lot of teams that followed them because they're hometown team, but now it's the hometown country, so you're going to get a lot of people following as well. Patrick Kane played for Team USA. Keith Seabrook, Taze, all played for Team Canada last time. So all those guys still with the Hawks. They could all be represented again.
Yeah, I'm sure they will be easily.
Yeah, definitely Kane and Taze. Yep. Probably Keith. Hopefully not Seabrook.
You don't want Seabrook on the...
Well, because I hate Seabrook.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
And if he is playing, hopefully it's for a different team. He gets traded soon. Let's talk Matt Garza.
Yeah, Cubs told Matt Garza's agent he will be traded. Garza said, I told my agent that they were going to move me. They said as much as they like me, they need to add inventory for the future. Some names and teams that are on the list: Texas Rangers, Los Angeles Dodgers, Cleveland Indians, and Toronto Blue Jays. have all told to make their final bids. Fox Sports reported late last night that the Rangers are closing in on a deal for Garza. I'm not sure who is involved in that deal.
A name that I saw thrown around a little bit was Mike Olt, who is a 22. He was ranked the number 22 best prospect. Number 22, number 22nd. Jeez.
See, I did say for Garza I wanted a top 20 prospect.
Well,
last week
if they get Mike Olt, he's actually having a down year this season. Those rankings came out before the season started. He's a 24-year-old third baseman. He's hitting .215 with only 10 home runs, 28 RBIs, and batting and .312 on base in 65 games. Now, 10 home runs, that doesn't seem bad, but for a guy like Mike Olt who hit 28 bombs last year,
right,
he's having a down season, and I believe he had .290 last year. So, I mean, Mike Olt would be a good get, but I mean they'd be buying kind of low on him.
Yeah, let's take this call. Hey, AJ.
Yeah, going back to the hockey, I want to know, what do you have against Seabrook?
I just think, all right, honestly, it started with completely stupid reasons that I used just to make my friends mad because they liked him, because I thought he looked just like an idiot in his old pictures. Mm-hmm. But then the past couple seasons, now that I've actually really paid attention to him just personally, he makes a lot of mistakes in the defensive zone. He's very careless, I think, with the puck, at least a lot more than the other defensemen on the team. And I see him get the puck, and I just see him wildly throw it. Or you saw in the playoffs in one of the overtime games against Boston, he kept falling down out of nowhere. He would just trip over himself. He ran into the goalie one time.
Yeah, I saw him take out Crawford that one time.
Yeah, when he was skating backwards and didn't know where he was and just took Crawford right out, and the camera in the net got it. That was pretty funny.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Sometimes he just seems like a head case. I mean, that could be his concussions, but
it could be. Yeah, that last one was Rocky Torres a couple years ago.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I think Wisniewski also hit him one time and dropped him.
Yeah, that one was ugly.
Are you a big Seabrook fan or?
Yeah, I wouldn't say he's my favorite player, but I have liked watching him play. You know, I always like hitters. You know, it's fun watching the hits. And
actually, that's a good point. That's another reason why I don't like him. I don't think he hits as much as he should, given his size. He's a big guy.
I'd say that a lot of Blackhawks don't hit as much as they should. They definitely need to step up their physical game.
Yeah, definitely. And when you got a guy like Seabrook who has the size the Hawks need, he needs to be using it and throwing that body around. I don't think he does it enough. Is there any guy on the Hawks in particular that you don't like or you think they should move?
Right now I'm pretty happy with the lineup. For the first 2 years with Kruger, I wasn't really a fan. But this last year, I've started to come to like Kruger a little more.
Yeah.
His penalty killing.
Yeah, I think Kruger and Frolik really fell into their roles this season. They were kind of fringe guys on this team, didn't really have a place, weren't important much. And then this year they found their groove together on the penalty kill. And now I think that that was such a special thing. Like Devin Hester for the Bears, you know, he's only got one facet, but in that special teams, he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, I think
or at least he used to.
The Hawks are really going to miss Michael Frolik with Kruger on the PK.
Right.
Yeah, definitely.
Exactly. All right, AJ, well, thanks for the call. Yeah, I'm going to miss Frolik. We're going to see what happens next season, though. See if someone else gets paired up with Kruger and they, keep it together and can continue to have one of the best PKs in the league.
Yeah,
so hopefully that happens. All right, we're going to take a break here on the Sports Jam. You are listening to us on WJOB AM 1230. I'm Joe O'Rourke, Mike Zajac, Sam Cepeda. Be right back.
Welcome back to the Sports Jam here on AM 1230 WJOB. Let's give you a look at the golf, the Open Championship. Miguel Angel Jimenez has the lead in the clubhouse at 3 under. Yesterday's leader, Zach Johnson, 3 over on the day. He goes into the 18th. He is 2 under. Tiger Woods, 71 today, 2 under. He is 1 back. And we're looking at Phil Mickelson. Horrible day. Double bogey on the 16th, 74, 3 over. He is 4 back. Players who will miss the cut: Rory McIlroy, Justin Rose, Luke Donald, Jim Furyk as well. And Graham McDowell after his round. On Tiger Woods, there will be no surprise to me if he's picking up the Clare Jug on Sunday night. So that's what's going on over in Scotland for the Open Championship.
All right, let's do some Oilmen news real quick. I got the official Oilmen game notes released from today. So this is for yesterday's game. The Oilmen split with the Hounds at home. The Oilmen faced the first-place DuPage County Hounds in a doubleheader yesterday and won the first game 6-3 before dropping the second game by a final 7-1. In Game 1, Brett Schneider, who's 3-3, was once again on point for NWI, equaling his longest outing of the season with 6 1/3 innings of work. After he allowed 2 base runners in the 7th, he gave away to Matt Pobereko, who bounced back from a blown save on Tuesday to record his league-leading 4th save. The Oilmen jumped on DuPage starter Daniel Will for 4 runs in the first, including RBIs hit by Nick Bartolone, Nick Salduti, and Craig Austin. In Game 2, it was the Hounds setting the tone with a big inning, plating 4 runs in the second half off the closer Danny Pobereko. The Oilmen got 1 run back with an RBI single from Ty Hogan, but were unable to break through against the winning pitcher Steve Heilenbach. With the split, the Oilmen remain in 3rd place, 3.5 games back of the Hounds, and just a half game behind Lexington, who lost to Rockford last night. In a preview for tonight's game, the Oilmen and Zephyrs tangle once again tonight, as the Oilmen are having revenge on their minds from Wednesday's defeat against Wabanesi Community College. It was the first time NWI had ever lost to Chicago, as they were a perfect 6-0 last season. The two teams will also meet up for a doubleheader on Sunday, following an off day on Saturday, and tonight's game against those 4-5 Zephyrs. The 21-12 Oilmen will play tonight at 5:30 Central Time in Sugar Grove, Illinois. There is no radio for that, but you can watch the Ustream on nwioilmen.com. And it looks like their season will end on the 28th against DuPage County, so only 9 days left of the Oilmen season. Make sure you get out there and check out some games. They'll be home next against Lexington on the 22nd, a couple games against Rockford, then Michigan City, and Rockford again.
How's Jimmy doing?
Jimmy's doing well. I think he said he pitches – oh, God, I already forgot. He pitches this weekend, I think, Saturday? But he was at my game yesterday, my softball game.
Yeah.
And like I said to him on the phone, or when he called in, that he's usually my rock at these games, and I do really well when he's there. Not so much yesterday.
No?
Nah, I went 1 for 3 or 1 for 4, and just wasn't feeling it. But then we lost.
You are the Paul Konerko of slow pitch softball, like he said.
I usually am. When he's there, it's every pitch I hit is just a perfect blooper into right field or a perfect line drive in right field. Yesterday, I was totally off my game. I was pulling everything. You know, I blooped one into left that I actually really tried to just bloop into left, and then the other ones I just either rolled over on it or popped it up. I was not pleased with my performance, and we lost. We snapped an 8-game winning streak.
You guys got to come back strong next week?
Actually, our tournament, that was the last game of the season.
Okay.
And then our tournament starts either Thursday or next Thursday. And I think we're seeded as the 3rd team out of 16 or the 4th team out of 16 or something. So, I mean, we're having a really good year.
All right.
But so yeah, hopefully we do well in the tournament. Hopefully Jimmy Mack can come check us out when he's not striking batters out with the Oilmen.
219-845-1100 is the number here. The Railcats lost last night to Sioux Falls Canaries. Yeah, that's their nickname, the Canaries. 5-2 is the final, 3rd loss in a row. Mike Massaro, Craig Maddox, no, not Greg Maddox, Craig, Drew Martinez, all had 2 hits each. Elaine, I think I'm pronouncing this right, Kawano went 5 2/3 innings, 8 hits, 4 runs. Next game tonight against the Canaries of Sioux Falls, 7 o'clock at night. The Griffith All-Stars jumped on Kokomo early with a 4-run first inning en route to a 7-1 win in the Cal Ripken State Tournament action Thursday evening. Griffith got stellar pitching performances from both starters, Timmy Lawson and Kyle Ewinski, hope I pronounced that right, who came into the game in relief. Griffith had a big first inning. Kyle Ewinski, Johnny Maynard, Gabe Pulido, and Jake Collins all got hits, finding the gaps and scored. Pulido drove in Ewinski with a double. Collins got 2 RBIs on a single, and Will Carroll's grounder scored Collins on the first baseman throwing error. In the 4th inning, Collins walked, then Carroll laid down a bunt, and both of them scored on throwing errors. Griffith took advantage of more Kokomo mistakes in the fifth with its final score. Lawson allowed 2 hits in the first inning. In the first 2 innings before he began to tire, Kokomo got its first run in the third when Went Lawson hit the leadoff batter, struck out 2. Then heat began to get to him. Kokomo had consecutive singles to drive in the first batter. Then Lawson got a second wind and got out of the inning with a strikeout. Iwinski struck out 7 in his 3 innings on the mound, while Lawson had 9 strikeouts on the game. So how about that for the Griffith All-Stars?
All right. Looks like we got our guest, Jeremy, on the line. We'll take him after this break. I'm going to read a story real quick. We'll take a break. We'll go to news, and we'll come back with Jeremy just after 2:30. So here's my Daily Onion story for us. As you know, The Onion is a satirical website. They put out funny stories, not just sports, but all kinds. But I decided I'll read one of their sports stories every day because I really enjoy them. You can't see the picture very clearly, not from over here. Mike, can you hold that up there?
Yep.
It's a picture. This article is a picture of Bud Selig with his shirt off.
Very disgusting, by the way.
Looking very skinny. Very skinny. And the article, if I could have that back, thank you, is titled Nation Disturbed by Photos of Bud Selig and ESPN's The Body Issue. If you haven't seen The Body Issue, it's a whole collection of athletes naked and obviously covered up in their private parts, but naked and flexing, and you can just see all the muscles and all the insane ripped bodies of these athletes that you obviously normally wouldn't see when they're playing. So the article says, calling the pictorial disgusting and very unsettling, millions of Americans were reportedly deeply disturbed by the semi-nude photos of 78-year-old Major League Baseball Commissioner Bud Selig in ESPN the magazine's annual Body Issue last week. Sources confirmed on Friday. Getting a glimpse at the incredible physiques of athletes like Colin Kaepernick, Kerry Walsh, Jennings, and Sidney LaRue were really cool, but turning the page to see Bud Selig standing there buck naked and shielding his genitals with his left hand, I have to say, it was a bit much. San Diego resident Jason Dawson, 31, said of the 3-page spread, which contains strategically shot pictures of a naked Selig from multiple angles, covering himself with only an MLB baseball cap and a catcher's mitt.
That is disgusting.
To be honest, it pretty much ruined the entire issue for me. While undoubtedly put off by the images of Selig, many Americans admitted to reporters that the feature was far easier to stomach than last year's controversial double-page spread of a completely new Detroit Tigers manager, Jim Leyland, lying in the spread eagle position on home plate.
I'm so glad that is a false article right there.
Oh yeah, that is very fake, and if it was real, I think ESPN's The Magazine would no longer cease to exist. So we're going to take a break real quick. The news will be coming up in just a minute or two, and then we will have the creator, Jeremy,
the commissioner of the Griffle Ball, Jeremy Ratajczyk, on the line. Hold on. We will see you in a few minutes.
This is some amazing stuff, guys.
This is Stick Around, AM 1230, WJLB. Welcome back to the Sports Jam here on AM 1230 WJOB. We've got Jeremy Ratajczyk on the phone with us right now, the commissioner of Griffle Ball. Jeremy, how are you?
How's it going, Mike? It's a pleasure to be on the air here.
All right, good to talk to you. How did you all get started with Griffle Ball in 2010?
Well, we all started back in actually 2009. We used to play on our friend's front porch, and he actually moved to Texas the following summer, so we had to relocate. So we figured, we wanted to expand on the league a little bit, so we moved it to a public park. We found Shepherd Park in Highland, Indiana, located just off Liable Road, and we play our games there. And since we're at a public park, we were able to get a little bit bigger. And we've been there ever since. We're expanding by the year, actually.
So for those who don't know, what exactly is Griffle Ball? It's some form of wiffle ball, right?
Yeah, it's a fast pitch competitive wiffle ball league. A lot of wiffle ball leagues, or not really leagues, but a lot of people think wiffle ball is just something, maybe a backyard activity, just maybe your dad lobbing you a pitch in the backyard. But We kind of take it to the next level, and surprisingly, if you could research it online, there's actually a lot of fast pitch competitive wiffle ball leagues. Right now, we have 5 teams in our league, and it just consists of graduates from around the region. Griffith, Highland, and then I think we've even gotten a few players from like Munster and Cherville in the past couple of years.
That's my next question. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh, yeah. So we got just graduates from around the region, and then Griffith, Highland, Munster, Cherville, and pretty much people that played baseball in high school, or even if they didn't, just guys with interest in playing something competitive that they can fulfill some of their baseball dreams with.
Now you play at this park. What is the name of the park?
The name of the park is it's at Shepherd Park in Highland. We call it the Griffle Grounds, just something to kind of like with a homie,
right?
Give it a little homie ring. But it's at Shepherd Park in Highland. It's on Liable Road.
Nice. And what are the future plans to make Griffle ball grow?
Like I said, we've been expanding every year. The first year we started out with probably only about 10 players, and then the next year we grew to around 20. I think right now we're at between 25 and 30 players. There's really nothing set in stone on what's going to happen. It all depends on guys moving away and getting jobs and things like that. Availability is always an issue with our players, but I figure as long as we can have a decent amount of people who are dedicated, I want to keep it going as long as possible. I've always joked around with the players that the goal one day is to have the home fields in all of our backyards. We're all going to build turf football fields in our backyards. Maybe that'll happen, maybe it won't. But I think it'll be pretty cool if we can have it grow that much one day.
So, can you expand upon a little of how the game is played? How many players are on the field at once? How does scoring work? Outs, etc.
Yeah. We have 5 inning games and 2 rounds per inning. Usually that's about 45 minutes. You need 2 to 4 players to play a game. You could play with 4, or you can play with 2. You got your pitcher and then 1 fielder behind him. So there's no base running. It allows for a pretty fast developing, quick, clean game with no base running. Pretty much the job of the defense is to field the ball before it gets past you, because if it gets past you, then it's a base hit. Obviously, with no base running, it's we have marked territories with paint on the asphalt where if the ball lands there, it would be a single ball, etc. And pretty much there's a lot of strikeouts. So putting the ball in play, usually you can get it past 1 fielder.
So to get an out, you can either catch the ball or you can knock it down and keep it in front of you, essentially?
Yeah, well the rule is that if it comes at you, you have to field it clean.
Hey, Jeremy, we're losing you for a little bit. Can you say that again? You there?
Yeah, your reception's getting really bad. Can you stand outside or on top of a mountain? All right, well,
we've lost him.
Yeah, I think we lost him. We'll try and get him back on the line. We'll take a break real quick. When we come back, we'll try and get Jeremy back on with Sam during the break. Get some little better reception. We can talk some more about Griffle ball, the hot sport taking over the region.
And one of our own was involved.
Yeah, and our very own Mike Zajac was involved in the league. We'll get to that a little more after this on the Sports Jam.
Welcome back to the Sports Jam here on AM 1230. We lost you, Jeremy. You're back, right?
Yeah, I must have been traveling through a no reception zone here. I'm actually on the way to the national tournament as we speak right now. I must be traveling through some woods here or something.
All right.
Doing an interview while you're driving like a pro.
Yeah, multitasking here. anything for wiffle ball, right?
If you guys got a question for Jeremy, 219-845-1100 is the number. How's the league going this year? Any first-timers we should know about?
Yeah, usually every year we'll get about a handful of rookies. This year we're down to only maybe 2 or 3. The biggest rookie name this year is Ryan Bridges. He is a local baseball star. He went to Griffith High School, fell there, and then he ended up getting a scholarship to Purdue. I believe he graduated last year from Purdue, and now he's living back home and playing some form of baseball, I guess, and we're to have him in the league. He's a close friend of a lot of people in the league, and he's got a really big name in Griffith. He's the son of it's actually his dad and his uncle own the restaurant British Scoreboard, so it's
really?
we're really proud to have him in the league.
So Jeremy, there's a free agent that not too long ago that came into the league. He's a big name star.
No, he wasn't that big.
He's pretty big.
Well, he got released.
He was signed. His name's Mike Zajac, and I was wondering, what are your thoughts on Mike Zajac's performance in the league?
Well, he brought a decent bat to his team. He was signed by the U, which is a team that actually disbanded this year. He was all right. He made an impact at the plate, but he had some room for improvement with his defensive play and his pitching.
Yeah,
he got cut.
All right.
All right, so Jeremy, not to embarrass Mike too much here, we can get off the subject on that, I could see. So what type of pitches are thrown in this league? I assume I've seen some YouTube videos of people throwing, and it looks like some wild pitches coming up there at home plate.
Yeah. Well, we a lot of the pitchers pretty much just throw strictly fastballs because our strike zone is not that big. We use a lawn chair as our strike zone, and if you hit the seat or above the lawn chair, it's rolled a strike, and anything lower than that is a ball. So a lot of the guys just try throwing strikes with fastballs. Some of the guys you'll see throw maybe an off-speed pitch, and that's probably the ones where the wild pitches in the dirt or over the backstop occur, just because it's really hard to control with the ball.
Does anyone throw any like dirty curveballs or anything?
Yeah, a few guys actually have it matched into an art, but a lot of guys it's just strictly fastballs. I know Kyle Lidster is one of the better pitchers. He actually won our Cy Young Award 2 years in a row. He's got a filthy 12-6er up there. He throws up there, gets hitters off downs all the time.
Yeah, I saw in your record books he's got 3 perfect games too.
He does, yeah. Perfect games have been hard to come by. We've had since our first year, 2010. We've probably played over between 200 and 250 games. And I think maybe only less than a handful of those have been perfect games. So maybe just as rare as perfect games in the major leagues.
Hey, Jeremy, we got a call on the line. I think this is Jared from Buffalo, New York. Is that where you're calling from?
Oh, yeah, that's correct.
All right. Turn down your radio.
Oh, yeah. Let me turn it down 1 second. Yeah, there you go.
All right, you got a question for Rat?
Yeah, I got a question for him, Mr. Ratajczyk. So, with the Griffle Ball League, how would one get involved in the area, in the league, actually? Like, how would we address or contact you to get involved in the league? Well, we have our league website. It's www.leaguelineup.com/grifleball. We have all the information on how to get involved for that, and then we also have a Facebook page. Right now, we only got 75 likes on that Facebook page, so I'm hoping to get a few more, get some exposure out there with this interview. But a lot of the people around the region, anyway, I know each other, so my number is not hard to come by for the people that want to join the league. So maybe I need to do a little bit better of a job with exposure, but I think that if someone wanted to join the league, there's plenty of ways to find a way. Okay, and then does the league? How long does the league last? Is it just a summer thing? Do you guys go early spring to like later fall? Yeah, we start up our first game is always the opening day is always the first Sunday in June when everyone comes back from school, and then our regular season lasts in all of June and all of July into the playoffs, which start in August, and then the season usually ends about midway through August, and which everyone goes back to school. So we actually have a lot of. Probably about half of our players live away at college, so the season lasts pretty much from when they come home to when they have to go back for the fall semester. So it's only about a 2.5 month season, but we're still able to usually get a lot of games in probably about 20-25 a summer. Okay, that's good. Well, yeah, then I guess I'll have to look into your Facebook and everything, and I'll try to get in contact with you somehow and figure out how to get myself in this wiffle ball league of yours. All right, great, Jared. I really appreciate you calling. Thanks for your time. All right, thank you so much.
All right, thanks, Jared from Buffalo, New York. How about that?
Are there any costs involved in joining this league?
Yeah, just only about, it's usually between $20 and $30 a year, depending on how expensive the uniforms are.
What happened? It was $10 when I started.
it was, yeah.
Inflation, the economy.
Yeah, I know. Well, I don't think we had uniforms that year, but
right.
This year I had it at $25. We actually had our own uniforms. we have a logo of the team on the front and then a number on the back. Nothing too flashy, but it kind of adds professional atmosphere. So it's pretty cool to go out there and seeing guys wearing the same shirts as opposed to just maybe a couple guys wearing cutoffs and stuff like that.
Now, when I was looking at your website, which is leaguelineup.com/griffleball, GRIFFLEBALL, this website is so in-depth, I could not believe it when I found it, when I was going through the website. I spent at least a half hour just looking through. You have a rule book that's very detailed. You have all these photos from league champions. You have full rosters with player pages. You have all this contact information. You have season statistics, schedules. I mean, this is no joke.
Yeah, we put a lot of time into that website. Most of it is done by me. Sometimes I'll text a manager for like an interview after a game, and I'll kind of just copy paste that into some of the articles. But I spend a lot of time on it. But it's for wiffle ball, which I've always viewed as a great pastime. And I'll do a lot. I'll do whatever it takes to keep this league as professional as it is. Like when it comes to wiffle ball, the reason we have this league is to be competitive. Just because anyone could just go in their backyard and just play wiffle ball with their family and friends. But I feel like the reason that a lot of people are in this league, paying the league fees and coming out there 25 times a summer is because it's competitive and because it's exciting. And with that website, I feel like that's just one of the tools of how professional and that the Griffle Ball League is. And I try to maintain it. We keep stats every game. I try to keep them as accurate as possible, and I try to update that website as much as I can. Sometimes it gets pretty time consuming just because we have so many different pages on there, but I definitely usually find enough time for it in the summer.
Where do you see Griffle Ball going? What do you see it as its future plans to expand?
Yeah, like I said, it's there's really nothing set in stone in terms of future plans for us, just because you got guys coming in and out every year. Like we've probably had at least 50 or 60 people in our 4 years come in and out of the league, and with people, like I said, with people getting different jobs, moving out of the area, getting married, things like that. It's really hard to plan anything more than just a year in advance. But like I said, as long as we have people that are dedicated and ready to play, I want to keep this thing going as long as it takes. I know some of these teams that we're going to play in the national tournament this weekend. Some of these teams have guys in their their 30s and 40s playing. So I think it'll be great if it could last that long. But if it doesn't. That's fine with me as long as we get as much out of it as we can.
Yeah, it's really impressive.
Now, this tournament that you're going to right now, do they play by the same rules that you guys play at Griffle Grounds?
They actually do not, and that was a big problem for us last year. This is the second year for the NWA tournament. You could look up information on them at www.nwlatournament.com. This is the second year we've had it. This year we have 13 leagues, and pretty much what happens is leagues from around the country send their all-star team to the tournament. Send probably if a league has 30 players, they'll send their best 5 or 6 players to the tournament. Actually, it's not the case for us this year. We had literally this year our roster. We definitely have a solid team. We actually weren't really able to pick and choose this year, though. We had 4 guys that were available to go, and those are 4 that are going. I mean, I'm not saying that these guys aren't good. We're definitely going to be competitive. We're going to win some games this year. But this year, for us, it came down to only 4 of us were available. But yeah. Anyway, the tournament, they don't play by the same rules as we do, and that was a problem for us last year. It was kind of a culture change for us. They run bases, which we don't, and their strike zone is a little bit farther back than ours is. So, our pitchers had trouble throwing strikes. They don't use it in bats as we do. They use the traditional yellow wiffle bat that I'm sure everyone knows about. The bat that we use in our league is actually called the Sandlot stick, and it's black, and it has a rounder barrel than the traditional yellow bat. So there's a lot of different rules, and like I said, it was a big culture change for us last year. We ended up going 2-4. We definitely feel like we could have done a lot better, and I have a lot higher expectations for us this year with this new group of guys.
So I saw you guys have a YouTube page, and you have a lot of videos on there. Someone is really taking the time to take videos and commentate even over these videos and put them on YouTube. What is the YouTube page so that people listening can go check out all those videos and see for themselves what the league's about?
Yeah, the YouTube page is just Griffle Ball League. It's all one word, youtube.com/Griffle Ball League. And we actually haven't been as many videos as we had in the past. Last year we only taped the playoffs in the World Series. We used to tape more, but we actually don't tape that much now. For the playoffs in the World Series, it was actually a really cool experience. We had a few people come out, and actually we had my laptop out there with the webcam right behind home plate, and we had I think 3 or 4 people come out and actually commentate the game, and it was really cool. We had walk-up songs. I asked everyone in the league what they wanted for their walk-up songs for the playoffs, and
Nice.
I downloaded them onto my iPod, and we played them on like a portable stereo. So it was really cool, really professional baseball-like atmosphere with the playoffs in the World Series. We're looking to do the same thing this year too.
We're talking to Jeremy Ratajczyk, the founder of Griffle Ball. I got one more question for you before we let you go. When can I start broadcasting these games? I know your head broadcaster Tyler Walk is not available, or he is. I don't know what's going on with that.
Yeah, my head broadcaster Tyler Walk, he's not lived up to his expectations this year with his
Shots fired.
He's actually quite a broadcaster. He's got a good skill in that department. I know you have a really good skill with that type of stuff too. And I say, hey, whenever the playoffs start up, we'd be more than happy to have you and Tyler as a broadcasting duo for us.
Absolutely, sounds good. Hey, thanks, Jeremy, for talking with us this afternoon.
Yeah. Thanks a lot for having me, guys.
Good luck in your tournament.
Yeah, good luck.
All right, thank you.
One more time, that is leaguelineup.com/griffleball, GRIFFLEBALL. Also check out their YouTube page. They got a Facebook page. I don't know what exactly it is, but I'm sure you can search Griffle Ball on Facebook and you'll find it. They got a whole bunch of stuff, very deep league, really cool stuff. We could have gone for another half hour asking questions. Yeah. That was so interesting. All right, well, good luck to them in the tournament. You are listening to Sports Jam on WJB AM 1230.
Welcome back to the Sports Jam here on AM 1230 WJOB. We got some headlines with Sam.
Well, headlines today, Derek Jeter is back on the disabled list, sadly, after he injured his quad in his first game back. It's pretty sad considering Derek Jeter, one of the only Yankees that actually can hit the ball that came back. I mean, Alex Rodriguez is coming back Monday, but they're not cutting it. They're not doing a good job.
He's so old, Derek Jeter.
He's really old.
I think they said he's played 8 games this season.
Yeah.
This is his second time or third time going on the DL this season.
Just quickly going over the injuries, you got Derek Jeter, you got Mark Teixeira.
Teixeira's gone for the year, too.
Yeah, it's a mess down there in the Bronx. Additional names have been added to the biogenesis investigation. Players named so far have been A-Rod, Ryan Braun, Nelson Cruz, Everth Cabrera, All-Star Bartolo Colon, and Johnny Peralta.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see what other names are on there. Being a kind of a prospect guy, I'm thinking some of these names because I think they said minor leaguers are included too. I may actually know some of them, so it's kind of going to be interesting to find out. I know the White Sox have been suspiciously clean over the past 10 years. I have not seen more than one guy. Jim Parquet was the only guy I've ever seen mentioned on the list, and I think he was not even on the team when they said he was using. So
Bartolo Colon, you said, I think last week that he might be on that.
Yeah, he got suspended for PEDs last year. I believe it was last year.
He's having such a great year at 41.
At 42, I think. And maybe 40, and he's throwing 94. Yeah. That's a red flag right there. So.
Absolutely.
Cowboys defensive tackle Josh Brent, former Illini football player, retires. Brent is facing intoxication manslaughter charges involving the death of practice squad linebacker Jerry Brown's death in December.
Yeah, December 8th, drunk driving killed, I guess it was his best friend, his roommate, his real close childhood friend, Jerry Brown. That happened last year, and I guess Josh Brent just, I don't know, he can't take it, or obviously he's facing, criminal charges as well, but.
He said on ESPN that he's trying to focus on his priorities, and football's not one of them.
Yeah.
Right now.
I mean, I don't blame him when he's facing something like that, and there's more important things than
you
playing
can't,
football.
and you can't play to your full potential if you have all that on your mind.
Yeah, or if you're in jail.
Yeah.
So
Plaxico Burst proved that. You got the Chicago Cubs are bringing up outfielder third baseman Junior Lake from AAA Iowa.
Yeah, Lake's a 23-year-old. He's kind of a utility player, kind of like a Brent Lillibridge, I would say.
Right.
And I think that's really all he's going to be in the majors. He's hitting .295 with 14 stolen bases for AAA Iowa.
He's only played 44 games with AAA this year, I believe.
Yeah, he's just looking at all his numbers throughout the years. He doesn't project to me as being more than just, a utility guy, just like Brent Lillibridge, who played the outfield, played second, played short, played third, played first, pretty much everything but catcher and pitcher. So I think Junior Lake can be that, which obviously has some value, but I don't think it's anyone that the Cubs fans should be excited about and be like, oh yeah, I can't wait to see Junior Lake play.
He's replacing Bogusevic, who injured his
ADL, I think.
Yeah, his hamstring.
Yeah.
So
The LA Kings agreed to an 8-year contract extension with team captain Dustin Brown, which is worth $47 million.
Yeah, I don't know if Dustin Brown is worth that. I mean, he's a pretty decent player. He's not an all-star. He's not one of the elites for sure, but I mean, he's a 50-point guy, and so I mean, we'll see what happens. 8 years is a long time. I believe he's 29, 29 or 30. So, man, in the NHL they sign these players till their late 30s and 40s. We saw with Hossa and Keith and all those long deals. So, but the Kings have locked up a lot of their players. I think they've signed 9 players to long-term deals either this year or in the past calendar year. Yeah, they've been signing a lot of guys for a long time.
Alex Rodriguez news. Alex Rodriguez went 1 for 4 with a 2-run home run yesterday in a AAA rehab start. He will return to the Yankees Monday. Sad face for Yankees fans. I do not like him whatsoever.
I don't think anyone really likes him.
No one. And the Charlotte Bobcats will officially be the Charlotte Hornets in 2014.
So real quickly, explain to me how that happened again. This is not the team that used to be the Hornets, right?
The Charlotte Hornets moved to New Orleans, and they became the New Orleans Hornets. Now the New Orleans Hornets are going to become the Pelicans, and the Charlotte Bobcats, who took the Hornet spot, are going to become the Hornets again.
Charlotte Bobcats, were they an expansion team, or did they move somewhere?
I do not know. I think they were an expansion team.
So another team is going to be named the Hornets, but not the original Hornets.
No, not the original Hornets.
Kind of weird.
Very weird. And those headlines were brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings. Please everyone at your party by bringing them the wings they love. Large order takeout from Buffalo Wild Wings helps keep them happy and helps keep their sanity. Buffalo Wild Wings, wings, beer, sports.
All right, thank you, Sam. That's going to do it for us on the Sports Jam. Mike Zajac, Sam Sapita, Joe O'Rourke. Check us out tomorrow at the same time at 2.